Hey, what's up, guys? This is Adam from Lazy Guy DIY and the Builders Challenge, and we are at week 3 of the Builders Challenge. This is season 11. It's the Sit on It Challenge, and we have special guests tonight. So I'm going to keep saying it over and over here so people know. But as you join in, make sure that you ask questions, that you say hello, you leave comments. We have an awesome crew here tonight. So if you have any woodworking questions, whether it applies to the build or not, we'll feel free to answer them here. We'll use them to ask and answer because we got a great lineup tonight. So, and we have a set of prizes. We're going to have $100 gift cards from Shop to Forest, which is awesome. And so we're going to give those away to anybody that's asking questions on here. So make sure you're asking questions, leaving comments, and we'll keep asking on the way here. So to introduce our crew this week, what we said we were going to do is tell us that you're woodworking rich without saying that you're rich. And mine is I like to burn scrap wood. So Tobias, on to you.
So, hey, I'm Tobias Bridges. I'm with Powermatic. And I'm woodworking rich without saying it. All of the projects that I do these days are exclusively with 2x4s.
All right. Big spender there. You're gonna go Vin Diesel steal a lumber truck?
Yeah, those prices are up, I'm telling you.
Perfect. All right, Casey.
My local bank that I do all my business through called and said that they'd like me to bring all my scrap wood over there to put it in their vault. So that's how I'm woodworking. Right?
It'll appreciate, right? The value will go up.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we.
All right. Hey, guys. My name is Hui Huynh. I'm with Alabama Woodworker, and I am woodworking rich because I only use pure grain alcohol to mix my chalet flax.
All right. Perfect. All right, guys. So we have, so like we said, this is week 3 of the Builders Challenge, and so the theme this season is sit on it. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for some questions to roll in here. So remember, folks, as you ask questions in the comment section, whether on YouTube or Facebook or whatnot, we'll be able to see them. We'll be able to answer them, say hello, and then one thing we also want you to do too, since Shop to Forest, like I said, they're giving a $100 gift card for their site. We're going to give 2 of those away. Yesterday, Rachel and I from Builders Challenge, we did a live chat with them from Shop to Forest, and we were talking about Mental Health Action Day. And so what we'd also like you to do is if there's anything that you do, like we talked about going to the shop and doing some woodworking, taking a walk, exercising, just listening to some music or something, anything you do to get in your headspace so you can work right, you can do anything around just to kind of get you into that good mental health space. Leave that in the comments as well. We want to hear that, and that will qualify you to win potentially the $100 gift card as well. So what we'll do as we're getting started, we want to show off. Actually, Casey, let's talk about your build first while we're at it. How's your build going? That's it back there behind you, right?
So this is it right here over my shoulder. It's almost done. I just have a bunch of sanding yet to do, and I'm still kind of shaping the top. So last night I started power carving the top. And what the top is made of, one of my challenges to myself with this build was I didn't want to use walnut. I wanted to use some wood that I've never used before. So at my local hardwood dealer, I found what is called Powrosa, which is a wood that I've never heard of before. On the Janka scale, it's 2940. So it's very heavy, very dense, very hard. So my choice with it was to do live edges on the side over here, live edges on the side, and then start sculpting it with power carving and sanding. So I would get it rough cut with straight blades and fences, and then just basically turn it into an organic piece. So it's close. I still have to iron out some details on it, but sand it and throw some finish on it. But the main focus of it is it's also my guitar stand. So whenever you play a show or a little gig or just outside, jamming, like you always have to have a guitar stand and your stool or your chair. So I've looked online and I found some cool ideas and kind of morphed them together into what I thought I would like. And I'm really happy with it. It's doing well. I've tested it. I sat on it and jammed a little bit last night, and it's great. So finish it up and be done with it.
That's awesome. Mine is nowhere near assembled yet. I'm always last minute, working till midnight to the night that it's due. And I'm sure we're going to have a baby that comes right before that happens. So then I'll never finish, and then we'll turn in like a week or two later. That's what I do. That's okay. That's because I'm in charge.
You're in charge.
Exactly. So we have some comments coming in right now. So we have a good evening from Mike from Rhodes Family Woodcraft. So hello, Mike. And then Ryan Daltrey has asked a question, when will winners be announced? So we have till midnight Pacific time on the 23rd it's 11:50, excuse me, on the 23rd to submit. And then we'll pass things off to our judges. And it's usually about a week, depending on how quickly everybody turns everything in. So about a week, we'll announce it. And we're going to do what we did for Furniture Flip. We're going to do a bit of a live stream again. We'll send the link out. We're not going to do it live, so you have to tune in and watch. We'll record ahead of time, and all you have to do is head to YouTube and watch to see who the winners are there at your own convenience at that point. And we have a couple special announcements that are coming for other challenges that are happening down the pipe here in the next few weeks and months and stuff. So we're excited about that. It worked out real well with Furniture Flip, so we're going to do that here again and have some special guests there as well. So we have another comment from BJ Tapley. He says I'm a hospital chaplain, so I build stuff to relax my brain. So that's good to hear there as well. So while we have Tobias and we here, they are judges for one of our categories. So we want to hear from you guys. What are you looking for in these builds for the Sit On It Challenge?
I'll go first, Tobias. So, I've done furniture for a while. I'm an industrial design guy and an engineer by education and experience. And I've just always loved woodworking. So I'm looking for something, especially with sitting on, that works from an ergonomic standpoint, that's going to be comfortable, that's going to fit right for the application. And I noticed, Casey, on your stool there, you've got a little leg rest there. So when you're playing the guitar, you got to have your knee upright so you can support your foot. So those kind of things that, are designed that make sense for its purpose, that's what I'm all about.
Great. And then you should also ask Casey, you were using Powermatic tools to make that, correct? Because if you have such a wood with that hardness scale, you need a good machine to
yes. So technically, I used my jet bandsaw to cut all the curves. So to answer your question, yes. Yeah.
It's in the same family.
Yeah, I'll let everyone know, just because I've been to a lot of places, and the main company for Powermatic and Jet is called JPW, but we own both those brands. We manage both those brands, and we support all the woodworkers with both of those brands. So we're excited, and I'll tell you, there are different users for each of those brands, and we make tools and machines to custom fit what those applications are for. So whether or not you're more on a budget, or you're what we call our hardwoods, which are the expert woodworkers, we make a machine that will do exactly what you need. And by the way, this year is Powermatic's 100-year anniversary. So 100 years in the business, starting out making planers in a barn, right, to now making just amazing woodworking equipment. That's what we're all about. That's our goal. We bring that heritage to everything that we put into the new development. And we're just excited to talk to end users, to make machines that, basically make your creative dreams come true, right?
And that anniversary, I saw the bandsaw. Actually, my local woodcraft got one. It was unboxing it, and it is a beaut, just with the black paint job. Yeah, it's awesome.
Special edition there. Yeah,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right, so what are you looking for for judging as well?
Yeah, it's great that you asked that, because I actually put in a lot of input, and I was able to talk with Jory Brigham quite a bit in the last Builders Challenge. And one of the things that stood out to me that I think people greatly do not consider or overlook is actually how the piece will be maintained. So one of the things that I saw was there's this beautiful piece, but unfortunately the top was all sculpted. And if you notice, a lot of Jory Brigham's pieces all of his sculpted pieces have sculpting that occurs on the vertical portions of wood and not the horizontal portions of the wood. And if you actually talk to Jory, and one of the reasons why he does that is because cleaning sculpted furniture that is on the horizontal platform is terrible, right? So I don't look at necessarily just joinery, although many people think that that's all I look at, because that's one of the things that I focus my channel and my Instagram on. But I look more so on day-to-day maintenance and functionality. If the end user is unable to maintain that piece, ultimately I think it becomes unusable because they can't maintain it. And it's just one of the major things that gets overlooked. And one of the things I actually score relatively highly on when I'm judging is functionality, form, of course, but functionality as well as overall maintenance and usability by the end user. So something to consider and keep in mind when you're building your piece.
And that's exactly why that toughest category there is. I mean, we have such guidelines on it because, I mean, it's finance craftsmen. So you have to have all those things going into factoring there. So that's well put.
I would say this much: the criteria to the finest craftsman category is just scratching the surface. That's just to get you into the category. More so is this right here, what's between your ears.
Yep.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. So we'll take some more questions here. We have more questions coming in. So remember, guys, ask your questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll answer those here. So one question comes from Karen here is, will next season be another theme or back to the usual plans? So we're undecided right now. We'll see what's happening, because this year we decided to do the theme just because things were a little crazy in the world. We didn't know who was going to be able to get material, and we didn't want to set that out there. So we'll kind of get a feel for it. That's going to be in October. So there's plenty of time to figure stuff out by then. And we are always planning, always thinking about what's going to happen next. So we'll take that into account and we'll go from there. So before we get started on our game, as I'm very excited for our game tonight, we're going to take one more question, and it comes from BJ. BJ's question is, how did you all get into woodworking, and how long have you been doing it? Myself, I started with flipping houses when I was younger with my dad, and kind of got from there and kind of learned trades. And then after that, I took 10 years off, took an industrial design class in college, designed my own furniture, and then did nothing for more years, and then built a chicken coop. And that started everything for me and my website and stuff. So that's kind of my journey. So it's roughly 5 years from my website. So who wants to go next?
I'll go. So I got into woodworking probably when I was about 12 years old, and I was building skateboard ramps, right? I mean, taking all the wood you can find, using saws, a lot of hand tools, but we used to do everything we could to build the coolest ramps in the neighborhood and have everyone come over, and they got bigger and bigger. And then I just got really familiar with tools, and as I mentioned, I went to college and did a lot of furniture design in college, and now I'm a tool guy. I love tools, so I've kind of got the perfect job where
Absolutely.
I woodwork as a passion, and then I manage the machines that allow me to do my passion, right? So it's great.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I started out young, just kind of being creative and always tinkering and taking stuff apart and messing around. And my dad had skill saw and a jigsaw and some other little random tools laying around. So I used to actually cut guitars out of like the profile out of like OSB plywood and paint them and, do all kinds of stuff to them. Then it turned into like making little knickknack boxes for like storing stuff and shelves and whatnot. But then became a homeowner and needed, those particular projects where you wanted like a bookshelf to fit like just the right spot and be just the right height and have just the right amount of shelves. So it kind of morphed into, bringing the tools back out again and working through that. And that turned into developing my skills. Every time I made a project, I'd try to get better and get better tools and just keep, growing and growing and growing to the point now where a lot of the stuff that's in our house, in my kids' bedrooms even, is stuff that we've made or that I've made. And it's cool to just know that every room has something that I've made in it and something that my kids someday can, take on and move into their house someday. So
That's awesome.
That's
Those
kinda where I
heritage
started.
pieces. That's always fun to have.
Yeah.
All right, Mr.
Okay.
Alabama.
Yeah, so I got into woodworking shortly after I got married. I had bought a foreclosed home in 2010. And between 2010 and 2012, I had slowly but surely replaced every single thing in a foreclosed home. As you can imagine, most foreclosed homes are not well taken care of. But my wife had asked for what many of you might know as a hall tree. It's basically kind of a mudroom piece. And I thought, well, I can do a better job than that, and I could do it for cheaper. Well, that cheaper is incorrect, by the way, because the amount of time and money it takes to acquire tools and acquire hardwood and to actually do the work, you could have easily bought something for much cheaper and last just as long. So that's really how I got into it. Much of what I do on a day-to-day basis, I'm an aerospace engineer. So my time during the day is enveloped with a lot of analytical tradecraft in my job. And so woodworking, we're talking about mental health and outlet. Well, mental health from numbers, and my day-to-day job is being in the wood shop. And so I love the ability to have this sort of side hustle that I do. But it's become much more than that. It's very much become a passion. So
that was going to be one of my questions later on for you guys, is about mental health, what you all do. But we'll save that for our other two up here in a minute. What we're going to do now is we're going to get to our game. So let me pull things up here, as we don't have our driver to help us out. But our game tonight is called "You Would If You Could." So what we're going to do, you all have hopefully your piece of paper with your A or B on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you a piece of wood. You're going to take a look at it here. We're going to have a picture of it. And I'm going to give you a choice of A or B of what type of wood it is. And you have to hold up your choice. And we'll see if you can guess what it is. So if you are watching, we want you all to play along as well. So we want to see how our fellas do here and how well they know their species of wood. So let me pull up my answers here real quick. So number one, we're going to start out really easy, and you'll see it on the screen here, guys. So for number one, is this Babinga, A, or B, purple heartwood? All right. Casey, got yours up. If you're in the chat, we want to see yours as well. This was an easy one, guys. This, of course, is purple heartwood. So number two. So number two, is this A, canary wood, or B, ipe?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm good.
Is yours a B?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, Casey's going canary wood. And we'll see chat. Let's see if anybody's guessing here for number two. Anybody? Hold on. All right. The answer is B, ipe. It looks a lot like canary wood. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to get some of that. I haven't used that before.
Yeah. So, and we'll go for number three here. Number three. All right. Number three. Is this A, whinge? I think it's whinge. Or B, roasted black walnut? Okay, we have some disagreement here, and we'll go to the chat. Let's see, A or B, guys. Let's see. And the answer is A, whinge or wing. I don't know. Is it whinge? Somebody help me, please.
Wenge, or
Wenge,
Is that like
the previous was, and the previous wood was ipe.
eBay? See,
eBay.
they
Like
should
eBay,
tell me
right?
stuff. Yeah, like eBay.
Yeah, like eBay. Yeah.
With a P.
And like Target, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's woodworking rich right there.
That is woodworking rich. All right, number four. Let's show this one here. I think y'all get this one pretty quick. Is this A, black palm, or B, leopard wood? All right. Yeah, this one was pretty easy. This is leopard wood. All right. Let's see. I think people in the chat got this one pretty good as well. So
That's right.
we have 8 of these, so we're running out here soon. So number 5, is this A, quilted maple, or B, curly maple? A little indecision here. Let's see. All right. The answer is, let's check the chat, see if everybody agrees. The answer is A, quilted maple. All right. We will go with number 6 here. Number 6. Is number 6 A, Shadua, or B, zebra wood?
That's a tough one.
I don't know. Shadua.
I'm going for.
I've actually used Shadua, and it's very pretty. So the answer is A, Shadua. It's got a ton of different colors. It actually looks pretty close to canary wood sometimes too, but it comes out really orange when you put a little finish on it. So
nice. What is it really hard, or what's it like?
Oh, it's super hard. Yeah. It is, I think it's South American hardwood. I don't know. I may be wrong. Yeah. I may be making that up. But I got it for 2 seasons ago. Season 9 when we did the bar cart. So I did it at the bottom of the trays for it. So let's see here. Let's go for number 7. Number 7 is this A, mesquite, or B, hickory? All right. The answer is B, hickory.
I got a whole house full of that.
Do you?
Yeah, all of my hardwood floors are hickory, character grade hickory.
Awesome.
Nice.
Mesquite was pretty close. There's some of them has quite a bit of color change in there, so I knew it'd be pretty close there. So,
it's got more of a yellow tinge to it, doesn't it, mesquite?
Yeah.
Or amber.
Yeah. Okay. Here is number 8, the final one, and hopefully a very difficult one. Is this A, alder, or B, ash?
Let's see. I need to see more of the face grain.
Yeah, hard to see.
We try to make it difficult. All right, people in the chat here, let's see. We have a couple A's and B's. We're all around. And for our final one here, the answer is A, alder. So looks like we stumped the chat here. So that is our last one. Let me get rid of this graphic here. There we go. Now we can see everybody again. Okay, so we're going to wind down here in a few minutes. So if you have any questions, absolutely ask them now because we've got this great crew here. So we're going to go back to the question that we had before. So Tobias and Casey, what do you guys do to sort of get yourself in a good mental health space here? What do you do to relax, to kind of get yourself ready to go for the day or in the shop? Tobias, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah. So, you've got to have a clean mind before you start woodworking, right? I mean, especially when you're around machines. You also have to have a clean space. So a lot of the time, I'll always clean up my space at the end of the day. But every time I start a new day, a new project, I always will re-clean because I find things that either out of place or I didn't clean enough, right? So I have to have a clean space to start my work, and that always puts me in kind of the work mode, right? I get familiar with my shop again. I get familiar with my tools, get everything set up, and that kind of sets me at ease so that I know that I'm going to be safe working because everything is in its place, and that's kind of what I do. Turn some music on low, turn the AFS unit on just to make sure I'm nice and safe and even more clean, and but you just got to have a clear mind and know what you're going to do, the task at hand, and then it might take you an extra 2 hours for a project because you got to clean up and re-clean, but that's the best thing to do. Just set your mind straight when you start and finish a project.
I do the same thing before a new project. I just clean the shop up as much as I can. And it's only 10 by 16, so it doesn't take me very long. You can do a leaf blower and clean that place out.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to clean it, but
that gets me. If I'm even not ready to start working yet, that's what I do. Is I clean as well.
Yeah, you can't just jump right in. You got to set yourself up.
Yep. right, Casey, what do you do?
Very similar to Tobias. So I started out, I did 15 years as a mechanical engineer. So kind of like what Hui was saying was, you stress all day with tight tolerances and design and, meeting appointments and making deadlines and stuff. So I would come home and kind of hit the reset button, have a good dinner, spend some family time, then, refill the bottle of water, come out here and kind of clean or tidy up if it wasn't already clean, and then start a project. And also the biggest thing that I would do, a lot of my work was happening like late at night. So everybody go to bed or be turning in for the night, and I'd be out here, turning on saws and, tools that if you're not cognizant of what you're doing, you could end up in trouble, especially late at night. I don't want to be standing over, my bed and telling my wife that I cut my hand or something. So to me, it was like, if I'm going to make a cut or work with a tool, like you take a deep breath, you focus on what you're going to do. Or I try to like pre-plan, like throughout the day, if I know, like, I'm going to be working on, sanding all night or shaping or something like that, you kind of mentally prepare for it. And it's really in anything that you do, right? Like you want to kind of focus on it. So make sure that you're fresh and clean and clear and ready to go after it. So then I come out here, put in a good night. And then when I start getting tired, if I start like feeling it a little bit, then you stop, you're done for the night, and you go in the house and take a shower and you go to bed. So it's being aware of your thoughts in your mind, what you got going on, and don't try to bite off something that you're not ready to handle if it's not going to go your way. So
absolutely can't agree with you more there. So we have, and actually, you know what? I forgot to share the graphics earlier of other builds that people have done. We'll do that here in a second. But we have a question from She Builder. She's asked it twice now. She really wants it answered. So she's asked, what's the best way to preserve hardwoods for outdoor this time? Can I apply oil and then maybe a spar urethane, or just want to preserve the natural color of the wood as well as protect it from the elements? So what is y'all's choice way of protecting hardwood outdoors?
So I agree with She Builder. Applying an oil is going to soak into the grain of the wood, and then applying some form of build finish, particularly spar urethane, is classified as an outdoor finish. But by allowing that oil to soak in first, what you're doing is you're giving a lot of depth of color, and it's going to bring out what a lot of us rich by explaining that we're rich through woodworking. It's bringing out a lot of the chatoyance in the wood. So wood grain has a lot of bends and weaves and whatnot. And by soaking that oil in, you're going to accentuate a lot of that depth of color or chatoyance within the wood, and then putting that spar urethane over it. So you're applying color, or you're applying something that's going to accentuate the natural look of the wood. And then you're putting the protective coat over top of that. And I would highly recommend using something like a spar urethane. If you want something that does not require maintenance annually or biannually, then maybe go with epoxy form of finish. So something like a marine grade epoxy, something like a, it's got a funny name to it. I can't remember the name. It's a marine grade epoxy, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, using a spar urethane over an oil is a great idea. Just make sure whatever spar urethane that you're using is also oil based, and most of them are, or solvent based, excuse me. And most of them are, and for the pure reason that oil based tends to have a little bit more of a build compound to it than water based.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one of those big things where it's always, depending where you are too, depending on how harsh the elements are, I know it makes a big difference as well. If you're obviously anything that's anywhere near the ocean or anything, then you're just screwed and it's not going to last at all. So you're on your own.
Always work on it.
Oh, I got the name. So if you're by an oceanfront or something that has a lot more corrosive elements, high humidity, then maybe an Epiphanes might be better for your application. Epiphanes is extremely thick and it's a little bit difficult to apply, but run it on a couple test pieces and I think you'll be all right. There was one question from Brian McQueen, really quick. Where are you located in Huntsville? I'm actually in the Madison area, so I'm technically not even in Huntsville, but yeah, Alabama the beautiful, right, Brian? So sorry. Just wanted to get that question out of the way.
No problem. I didn't know if you want to disclose your location or not. So you're good. Alabama as a whole.
Madison's pretty big. Madison's pretty big. So
awesome. All right, we're going to show real quick just some of the other builds that we have graphics of here. And I think a lot of them are actually Casey's here. I don't want to forget showing these here. So yeah, this is the sculpted top and live edge of yours, Casey. Yeah. We'll show a little bit more. The butt groove there. Now, did you actually sit on it and draw around your butt?
So that's a funny story. So yeah, literally I'm like thinking, how am I going to get it right? Like without having to go back and carve it and sand it and then sit in it and test it. So I literally sat on the piece of wood and just took a pencil vertically and just kind of got a rough idea around my derriere there, and then I just made a paper template of the side that I liked and flipped it and transferred it over to the other side.
So it's a good thing you took that Woodrich wallet out of your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need to make like a divot in there, right, for that.
Yeah.
Did you power carve that with an angle grinder and a cut saw wheel or something? Turbo plane. Gotcha.
Turbo plane. Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, that's almost 3,000 on the Jenka, and it cut it like butter. So it was. Wow. And I used 80 grit on the sander, the Abernet 80 grit, and it took a little bit of muscle to get certain spots, but I mean, it's getting there. It's looking really good.
Good. Right, yeah, it's looking awesome.
Thanks.
All right. We have a couple more here I'm going to show. So it looks like a little loft bed area and seat underneath. That's from making it with Abby. And then let's see here, big wrinkly brain, kind of a abstract piece here. And then let's see, Daughtry Woodworks here, another stool. And let's see what else we have here.
Nice.
At 7M _H, big cushy chair here. Some nice cushions.
Look at those cushions. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel as though the what is it? This season's category is probably the most interpretive, and that's what I like the most. Is chairs are First off, chairs are difficult. Mm-hmm. Chairs are hard, but they're extremely interpretive, which is wonderful to see.
Absolutely. And like I said, we want to leave it open here. So let's see. We have another chair here from Rhodes Family Woodcraft with. I believe that they were on here before. And let's see, that's our last one that we're going to show right now. So let me grab to see if there's any more questions that we can answer real quick. But otherwise, we've already hit our half an hour, guys. We've nailed this here.
Wow.
So Thad Fleming says, hey, y'all, from South Alabama. So all the Alabama friends are in. And Brandon McDaniel says, that's mine. Showed Brandon's there. So great projects, everybody. Just remember to keep tagging. That's hashtag TBC11 and TBC11 progress. So again, you have until the 23rd at 11:50 Pacific time to finish up, and then you'll submit everything. The form is on the website. What you'll do is you'll actually post to your Instagram feed. You'll do hashtag TBC11 final. And then you'll submit that also through the form. You'll drop a link in there. And that's how our judges actually judge things, is we'll send everything that comes up from those hashtags in the submission form as well. So you have to do the submission form. So remember to do that, guys. But otherwise, we hit it, guys. We've done it. This is our full half hour. We've run over a couple minutes here. What we'll do is, thanks, guys, for leaving the comments. We'll grab people from the comments. We'll have 2 winners here. So everybody, thanks for your participation tonight. It's been fantastic. And cheers to you guys. And what we'll do is just real quick. First drink. Yeah, if you got it. I already drank all of mine. But what we'll do is we'll just say real quick where people can find you guys, and then sign off out of here. And my guys on here, once we end this, stay on for a couple seconds, and everybody else can go their ways tonight. So again, I'm Adam from Lazy Guy DIY. You can find me anywhere from Instagram to YouTube, not on TikTok because I hate TikTok. And then the Builders Challenge as well. So Tobias, close us out for you as well.
Yeah, you can visit us at powermatic.com as well as jet.com. And we're also Instagram. We've got YouTube. You name it. We're there to support you.
Awesome. And yeah, Casey Reeves at C Reeves Makes on YouTube and Instagram. and just every day I'm on there doing something. So DM me if you have any questions or want to chat.
Yeah, so my name is Hui Huynh at alabamawoodworker.com on Instagram and YouTube. You can also go to alabamawoodworker.com. I said that. alabamawoodworker.com is my website. And we also do a podcast, which is the Woodshop Life podcast. So check that out.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you. And good luck, everybody, on their final builds. You are right down to the wire here. Keep building, keep posting. We want to see what you all have done, and we appreciate you all hanging out. So we'll announce winners here soon. And good luck to everybody. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a good night.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks.